I do think that the idea that there was no real terror or that there was no such thing as a terror has gone way too far. I think there was definitely a terror. The terror was considered something that would paralyze people. And that's exactly what the Jacobins and what the Sans-Culottes wanted to do. They wanted to paralyze people. You needed to use terror to paralyze the enemies of the revolution. You needed terror to get rid of the enemies of the revolution. In order to paralyze them, the threat had to have real meaning, and you could only have the threat have real meaning if you came through with it on quite a few occasions and actually killed a lot of people. The old regime tended to practice a kind of emblematic violence where you kill the ringleaders and you make quiet concessions. What happens in the Vendée again is certainly very different, and what happens in the Terror is very different. Yes, the Terror was applied very unevenly across the territory of France. And again, I would say, well, of course, I mean, very few phenomena like this are ever applied completely equally. There were parts of the Soviet Union that escaped the Great Terror of Stalin. You were much more likely to be killed if you were in Moscow than if you were in Irkutsk. So does that mean that there wasn't a systematic terror? Of course not. I mean, there was a great terror in Russia, and there was a terror in revolutionary France. And so I think this deconstruction of the terror, or what Jeremy Popkin calls sort of the don't say terror school, it's the result of a lot of careful research. It's the application of a lot of careful analytical consequences, but the conclusions that are being drawn from it are wrong. I think simply wrong.